Hi, morning everybody, and welcome to another Simply Made Saturday with me, Helen Armstrong from Pandrapops Craft and Joyful Moments. Those of you who know me know that I'm an independent demonstrator from Cheshire in the United Kingdom. I live in a lovely village, well, it's a town called Wilmslow, yeah. And it's been a wonderful week this week weather-wise. Thoroughly enjoyed getting some sunshine finally. So what are we doing today? Today we are going to be using the mixed ephemera packs from Stampin Up. We're going to use Sincerely Noted, Under the Sun, and Meant for You. So I've picked some from each of these packs. I will just quickly show you what comes in the pack. So you get 2 of each of these sheets. So this is the Meant for You. And here in the UK, I think they're about £7, just under £7 for these packs. And they all coordinate with one another. They're all under the same, use the same colours. And I'll just turn that over. So the colours in these ephemera packs are Bubble Bath, Calypso Coral, Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling, Lost Lagoon, and Misty Moonlight. So that one was the Meant for You pack. This is the Under the Sun pack. And again, you get 2 of each of these sheets. So we've got sort of seaside themes, a bit of summer. I love this VW bug fan on here. Not using that today though. And again, some more summer things, some spring type elements there. And then we're also using the Sincerely Noted pack, which is sayings. So lots of happy birthdays, thank yous, hello there. There's some sympathy ones on here. So if you needed to make one of those cards that we all sometimes have to make. Yeah, and again, 2 of each of those. So you get 6 sheets of ephemera. And those are they're all sticky. So they have this little sticker on where you can peel off. Some of these I'm actually going to put on dimensionals. I'm not going to peel them off, but it's just to add a little bit more dimension to the actual cards we're making. I'm also using the Everyday Essentials Mix and Match Designer Series paper, again, which has Bubble Bath, Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling, Lost Lagoon, and Misty Moonlight. So the only thing that is not colour that is not in this, which is in the ephemera, is Calypso Coral. But you get 12 sheets of paper, double-sided paper. So there's 2 sheets of each designer paper, and we're going to be using these sheets to make our cards as well today. So as the term goes, Simply Made Saturday, with some ephemera and some paper, we are going to make 3 cards. Okay. So I've got everything ready that I need. I'm also going to do a little bit of ink blending. You don't have to. That is just a little bit of extra that I just thought I might do, just to add a little bit more interest. But again, you don't need to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with this card, which I'm going to make just as a nice card for a friend. It's a summer type card. Yeah, I just thought I would have a go with that. The first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my rounded bunch. Unfortunately, Stampin' Up don't sell these at the moment, so this is one that I've had for a very long time, many years, and it's still working really, really well. So I'm just going to round off these edges again, just to give a little bit more interest. Again, something you don't have to do. And I'm going to round these edges off on this one, but what I'm actually going to do on the other one is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to run them down the edges just to make it a bit rough and ready around those edges. Okay, just put that to one side, pick up my scissors. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my scissors around the edges. I'm just making it rough so it looks a little bit like a blanket is my hope. Almost like you're on the beach. So That's all I'm doing, just roughing those edges. You can put as much or as little pressure as you want. Okay, so that's those bits sorted. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my card blank. So this is our usual card blank of 14.8 by, oh, I need to just grab my bone folder, wherever that is. So it's 14.8 by 10.5 centimetres. I'm just making that flat. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a little bit of just colouring on the edge with my Calypso Coral. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a spare piece of paper to put it underneath. I'm just going to put my blending brush on and then dab it off a little bit. Oh, you know me, I've done it again. I've got Calypso Coral everywhere, but it's going to be covered, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So I'm just going to come in on the edges just to pick up the colour that's on some of the ephemera. As I say, you don't have to do this. It's just something that I quite like doing. It's a bit of the kind of look I like to go for. So again, today we're not using, just wiping my hands off. We're not using stamps or dies. We're just going to crack on and see how we get on with using our ephemera and paper. So let's pick up all our bits that we need for this card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this, but I think I'm actually going to put it that way round. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you. So if I just left it white, so we have that, which does look good. Then we have that. I think it just gives that little bit extra dimension and a little bit more interest on the card. So I'm just going to add some glue to the back of this. I don't want to put this up on dimensionals. I just want this to be flat. So I hope you've all had a good week this week. As I say, it's been beautiful weather here in the northwest of England. Just making sure that's as centered as possible. Okay. Now I'm just going to layer everything so I know where I'm putting it. So I want to have that up here, and then I want to have that layered there, is the idea. I want to have my sunglasses and my flip-flops just here, slightly overlapping, I think would be good. And then I'm going to put my starfish down here, I think. I think I might put my sentiment there. Just realising I'm not in the middle. And then I wasn't sure whether to include this. I might not include this actually. It's not strictly necessary, but if I do, I think I might cut it down. But we'll see. We'll see. So let's start layering all our bits now. This again, I'm going to make flat. We don't want it sticking up too much. Okay, I think we're all right there. I am going to actually put dimensionals on the back of our beach towel layer. So I can grab my large dimensionals. Oh, we don't need that many. Probably just 3 in a diagonal is okay. Alright, and I'm just going to add that layer just about there, just so we pick up that little bit of background paper in the background. Okay, now we're going to add our glasses, but before we do, I am going to get my White gel pen that Stampin' Up have recently brought out. I have to say it's probably one of the best gel pens that I've used, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of reflection on those glasses, and it just picks, again, adds that little bit extra layer. I am going to add dimensionals to my glasses. I do want them to stick up, so I'm not peeling the backing off, not using it as a sticker. Okay, so I'm just going to put those, I think, just there will be perfect. Okay, I'm going to stick my starfish again. My starfish is going on a dimensional. I'm going to put my starfish just here. I might add a dimensional just under that corner, just to lift it up and make it stick down. That's better. Okay, I'm just going to now stick my flip-flops, but I'm just going to use them as a sticker. I'm not going to, yeah, okay. So I might put one, actually I might just put one there. I'm changing my mind as I go on, aren't I? With where I'm layering things. I always do. When do I ever stick to the plan? I think the problem is my brain works really quite quickly. And it just wants to do its own thing. Okay, so the last thing we're going to stick on is our For an Amazing Friend, and we are going to put these on dimensionals, because I think we do need to lift that sentiment. Okay. And I think I'm going to have to double one of my dimensionals. Ooh. Because we're sticking it over the edge where we've already got a dimensional. So I'm going to just stick that just under there. Okay, so that is the front of our card done. So the only extra thing you could do, which I'm not going to do on camera today, actually, do we need to add this before I start working on anything else? Let me just take that edge off. I don't think we do. No, I'm going to leave it off. Okay, so the other thing you could do is you could use a bit more of this paper, and you could put a layer in the middle just to tie everything together. All right, so that's our first card done. What do we think? I actually really quite like it, and it's come together really quickly. It would help if I didn't smudge things though, wouldn't it? Just increase this a little bit. Okay. Moving that to one side, we're going to bring our next card in. On this one, I'm going to add this. This is Bubble Bath, this pink. So I'm going to just add a bit of Bubble Bath around the edge, like we did with the Calypso Coral. Just again to give that little bit of extra colour in. This one's quite a faint colour, Bubble Bath, unless you really layer it on. So this is just going to give that slight edge. It's not as deep in colour as the Calypso Coral. So it's just going to take that slight white edge away. So we're going to go all the way around. Again, it's up to you whether you put this on and for how much you actually put on. You know me, I do like a lot of colour. As the young ones would say today, it's my vibe. Okay, again, happy with that. Let's just close the ink pad because we don't need it again. Okay, so we're now going to build our layers with this one. This one is slightly simpler than the last one. I do like this paper with the roses on. So we're going to glue this layer down. I'm going to leave this with the square edges, but I am going to trim the other layer. Okay, just going to lift this up just so I can see to make sure that I've got it as straight as possible, which I do not have. That's the good thing about the Tombow glue, it lets you reposition. And move it about a little bit. I'm just not doing this very well at all, am I? Okay, let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to take my corner punch again and I'm just going to round off these edges. You can get these corner punches quite cheaply on Amazon. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the middle. The reason I did the corners for those is because this has got a nice turned corner as well. So, all right, so I'm going to glue this layer down. As you see, it's just the other side of the roses paper is the lined. So it's a good one if you're making a thank you card for a teacher, maybe. Something like that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this on dimensionals. And I'm also thinking I'm going to put our bird on dimensionals as well. This is actually taken, this idea is from one of the cards that is on the Stampin Up website to show off the versatility of this set. It's one of the first places I go to for inspiration. So if you're ever stuck and you've got a set that you're not sure what to do with, go and have a look on Stampin Up's website and see what they have created using this set. As I say, it is one of the first places I go for inspiration. And I liked this card that I saw this morning. Again, I've done it slightly differently. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to again put our little bird on dimensionals. Okay. I like that. Now I'm going to just stick this down just about here, I think, so it just goes slightly over the edge, but I want to add this for a little bit of interest underneath. So I think I'm going to have to put that on dimensionals, unfortunately. Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's put this down first. So peel the backing off. Be careful when you're peeling the backing off, because if you do bend these, because they are card, you will get a crease in the middle. So just be aware of that. Okay, there's my And let's then put this on dimensional, so it'll have to be raised up, I think. Okay. Just put that more in the center. Okay, and that is card number 2. Again, very, very nice. Now, if you wanted to, obviously, you could do some splatters. You could add a bit more blending on the paper if you wanted to. That would be your next steps going forward. But yeah, card number 2 completed. Let's go on to card number 3. So card number 3, we are going to be, first of all, blending with Misty Moonlight, because that's one of the nice blues that are in this set. Okay, I'm just going to get our card again and grab a blue blending brush, picking up some Misty Moonlight, and again getting it on my fingers. Okay, it's going to blend up because again this is quite a little, this is a dark one, but as a contrast against the white paper I think it'll look very nice. So this is all currently available if in the May to September, or May to August, because it finishes at the end of August, quarterly catalogue with Stampin Up. But obviously that is if you're watching this video in 2026. It is currently May 30th, 2026. So yeah, it is currently available. But Stampin Up are always bringing out these ephemera packs, so there will be probably something similar, maybe with a different theme, if you're watching this at a later date that is currently out. If it's nearer Christmas time, they will be bringing out, normally they bring out a nice Christmas ephemera pack, if you want to make some quick Christmas cards. So look out for that. This one we're going to do landscape. So again, let's just pick up our little bits. So I'm going to put our card layer on. Card layer, I should say. It's not card layer, it's our paper layer, isn't it? It's our designer series paper layer. Just checking I'm even at both sides. Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to add this layer here, and that's just going ever so slightly at the edge, off the edge. Going to make this look slightly like a road is my plan for the bike to sit on. Okay, now this is my thoughts. You can tell me if I'm completely off base with this one in the comments. Do I need to have the hat on there? I was wanting to have the hat off the back of the bike. Don't know whether we need it though. Oh, I don't know. I think we possibly need something up there, but we'll maybe have to look through the pack to see if there's something different than the hat. And Okay, and I'm definitely going to use this underneath, but what I want to do is I want to cut this down because we don't need the whole of this. So I'm just going to cut across here because we only need that little bit there. Okay, so let's add everything. Again, we're going to stick our bicup with dimensionals. Okay, it's probably too many. We probably didn't need that amount, but there we go. If you're just hearing any noise, that's just my husband coming in and out of the living room. He's trying to be very quiet. We're in the middle of painting at the moment, so we've got doors off here, there and everywhere. So there is a little bit more noise than normal, but hopefully you're not picking up too much of that. Okay, we're going to also stick our congratulations on, but because it's going across there, we only need our dimensionals on this half. So I can peel off one side and use dimensionals on the other. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, and what I'm also going to do is just stick that down, but I'm not taking my dimensional backs off just yet, because I want to stick this underneath before we do that. So I'm just using my nails to peel it off in the corner if I can. If not, I'll have to get my pokey tool. No, manage that. Okay. So I'm just going to stick that just underneath there, which is where I think I want it. And then peel those dimensional backings off. Great. So that's stuck down. Now, do we need something at the top? I think we might do. So let's get our packs out and let's have a look to see what we have available to us. Okay, I don't think we can use anything on there or there. Could maybe put, no, I don't think a star is going to work. We don't want any more wording. Could put a sun. I quite like the idea of the sun. Yep, I think it's going to have to be the sun. Or, oh, I know, we could, because that picks up that pink, doesn't it? It picks up. We could put a cloud. Okay. So let's peel the backing off this cloud. The whole trick with this kind of set is just to play around. You don't have to stick anything down. You're just playing around to see what works. Okay, so I'm going to use that cloud, and then I think I'm going to put this cloud on dimensionals. Or rather one dimensional. Ah, I like that much better. Better than just having a blank space. Okay. So that is it. There's our 3 cards. So we have For an Amazing Friend, Just a Note, and Congratulations. I hope you like these that we've made, as again, they are quite simple to do. Just play about with the kit if you do get it and have some fun with it. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me. And as always remember, craft your joy.